The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/expat2020. Hey everyone, welcome to The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 35. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Dan. Dan, how you doing today, man?
Hello there, good morning. Yes, I'm just dandy. How are you?
I'm doing good. So you received my package. Yeah?
That sounds weird. Yes. I commissioned you to act as my postboy in Japan, and I received it, and I am delighted with your package. It's an astounding sight.
Yes, and so you're probably happily playing the train sim now. Yeah,
I am currently playing Denture to Go on the Switch, and it's really good, really good. I'll be streaming it at some point this week, probably on Tuesday. That's now my thing. Train Tuesdays is now a thing of mine, apparently.
Train Tuesdays. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And so our special guest is making her first appearance on The Arena, so I want to welcome her into The Arena. Twitch streamer motherrpugger is our special guest.
Yay!
In this week's episode. Yeah, so Dan,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So Dan, you have some things to ask motherrpugger? Go for it.
Yeah, so I want to know a bit more about our guests. What's your first experience with games and computers and all that jazz? How did you get into all this mess?
I have an older brother who was 7 years older than me. So my first game that I ever recall playing was even before Windows was a thing. We were still on MS-DOS, and it was called Raptor, Call of the Shadows. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
I have. I know it.
Oh, you have? Oh, great.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, so that was the first game that I ever played, and every game that I played after that was just basically whatever my brother got, because my parents are a little bit old school in the sense where I was a girl and I was not allowed to play video games, so therefore I just snuck on the computer whenever my brother wasn't on it. So I played games like Doom, Diablo, StarCraft, Quake, Red Alert. That sort of stuff. That was my childhood. The good stuff. I try.
That's awesome. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you currently streaming now?
I am currently streaming Yakuza 0. So I'm going between that, and I just started South Park, the Stick of Truth yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was recommended to me, and honestly, it's taken me by surprise. I was not expecting it to be a properly developed RPG game.
Mm-hmm.
It's good fun. It's fun to just have a bit of a laugh on stream with people in chat. Because before this, I was playing Ori and the Blind Forest, and I think that really stressed me out so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not played it.
I don't think I'm great at platformers.
Ah, okay.
Mm.
Oh.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we're looking forward to talking with you more during the episode, motherrpugger. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So after this brief message about where you can find the podcast, Dan and I will talk about what we've been playing right after this.
Before Dan and Expat discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, will be going up on Patreon at patreon.com/expat2020 in early access for the first 3 days after recording. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode and listen ad-free along with other perks, including exclusive post-show content after every show, plus special bonus episodes, please visit patreon.com/expat2020 for further details. On Tuesdays each week, the podcast will be uploaded to all of the free podcast services, or you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Expat's YouTube channel, Expat 2020 Gaming. Just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like. If that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and a website at expat2020.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
So, Dan, I've been playing Oddworld Soulstorm still. The stealth elements in that game are starting to kill me, man. I'm enjoying the game, but the stealth in the game is pretty tricky. Yeah.
How? Why? I haven't played it. What have stealth in it? Okay, interesting. Do tell.
Yeah, it's a lot of stealth. I mean, because you're in a cave, and it's like a platforming part of the cave where you're going, through these corridors and going up and down, climbing. But you don't have any weapons except for like these 2 potions. And one of the potions is flammable. And so you're supposed to throw this potion and set something on fire so that it either distracts the guards or it incinerates them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem is there's like 5 or 6 guards in many different directions, so it's very difficult to distract all of them. It's very difficult, because you don't have any other weapons. And so basically you just have to run and dodge, but then you're being shot at in every different direction. And so it's really difficult to get in through certain areas of the level. So I'm still working my way through that right now. And then I've also been playing NHL 21, and I have to say...
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because I downloaded it on Game Pass.
Okay.
And I have to say, it's no different from NHL 15, man.
You sound surprised at this.
I was just going to say, isn't that the case for most sports games? It's just, they just change the year at the end.
Well, the thing that's surprising about it for me is you would have thought the graphical, for example, when it comes to the facial graphics of particular players and things would be enhanced between, say, like 2015 and 2021. Yeah. It looks exactly the same. So I was a little disappointed with that. The gameplay is pretty much the same, as would be expected. You can change between classic mode styles and, the modern mode styles with the controller and all. But, I thought it would have looked more realistic. I mean, like NBA 2K21, for example, the players' faces look really, really similar to real-life facial characteristics. But in NHL 21, it looks almost the same as, say, NHL 15. Because I say NHL 15 because that's the last NHL game I actually played. And it looks exactly the same. It looks similar in a lot of ways. So
I have a question for you on sports games. Do you buy the latest ones just so you could play with the newer players? Because, I mean, the rules of the game, of the sport don't change, right? So is it just a matter of getting the new players and updated graphics? Is that the one thing that keeps pulling people back to them?
Well, maybe for a lot of people, but I just I haven't played these sports games for a while. And because it was free on Game Pass with a Game Pass subscription, I mean, I thought I would give it a try. But I think for most gamers, a lot of it has to do with, the certain functions or new game modes that are put into the game. But those are like usually every 2 or 3 years that something new is added. So, yeah. So anyway, Dan, what about you? What have you been playing?
Oh dear, what have I been playing? A lot of oldies. I haven't even turned on my PlayStation 4 this week, and I only played on my Switch last night to play Densha to Go, which is amazing. I played a bunch of train games. I streamed a lot on Tuesday night. I streamed the original, actually the sequel, Densha to Go, on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, with the clunky big old joystick that looks like a train cockpit. That was very, very cool. I wanted to ask you
that controller, the clunky controller, how much does that cost in the UK?
I got it imported from Japan, so it cost me bugger all. Well, no, it cost me a fair bit. Well, actually, no, the device cost nothing. The shipping was ludicrous.
Yeah.
But totally worth it because it's freaking awesome. Yeah. So we're playing lots of train stuff this week. Cool. Taking a break. And I've been playing lots of New Zealand Story on the Master System, which is so unfairly difficult. It's ridiculous. Like, enemies literally spawn inside your body as you're going along. It's just impossible. No one's ever finished that game in the history of mankind. It's impossible. But that's my week.
Cool. All right. Okay, it's time to get into the weekly news beat. So the first story. So Dan, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago, where Sony was going to close the digital stores for the PS3, the PS Vita, and the PSP. Well, it seems like Jim Ryan had a change of heart.
Yeah.
And now the PS3 and the PS Vita stores will no longer be closed. However, the PSP store is still going to be closing in June. So in a letter to the community on the PlayStation blog, Sony Interactive Entertainment President and CEO Jim Ryan said that it was, quote, clear that we made the wrong decision here, end quote, and that the stores for PS3 and PS Vita will continue to live on. So he says, quote, when we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on, end quote. He also says, quote, we see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad we are able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. So then he goes on to say, thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community, end quote. So, I don't know, Dan, what do you think of this? A lot of pressure from gamers out there. Are you satisfied with this decision? Because a lot of games are going to be saved. Yeah.
From that standpoint, it's great. But was there really any outrage? I think that people were shocked. Was there outrage? I mean, killing the PS3 store makes perfect sense because that's now 2 generations ago. Who's still rushing to buy new PS3 games? And again, you can play a lot of them on PlayStation now and all that jazz. So the PS Vita, I understand keeping around because there isn't a successor to the PlayStation Vita. People are still making games actively for the Vita. Yeah. So. PSP obviously kill it off. That's dead in the water. But it makes sense. It makes sense to keep the PS Vita one going. The PS3 one, I don't know why they did just shut that one down entirely.
Yeah, I think the majority of the outrage was probably over the Vita store.
Yeah, that shut down. Yeah, that's warranted. Yeah.
Pugger, what do you think about this? Being based out there in Malaysia, how do you feel about all this?
See, I used to, before I got my PC, my current PC back in October, I was pretty much a PlayStation gamer for the last 8 years. And I think, just like Dan said, I completely understand why they decided to kill off the support for the PS3 store because, why? I mean, a lot of the classic games or the more popular games that they were making for the PS3, they're being remastered to be able to adapt to the newer consoles or the newer gen anyways. So I'm not really that bothered about it. Honestly, even for the PSP, I used to have a PSP and that didn't last very long with me. I just kind of dumped it for a PS3 at the end of the day anyways. I didn't think it was that good of a mobile console, I would say. I think with, I can understand the nostalgic factor behind, the older consoles like the GameCube or whatever, but with something that's constantly getting updated like the PlayStation, I'm more of a bigger fan of just moving on. And, if it's a matter of remastering the popular games for the newer generation consoles, and that's what I personally prefer over, fighting to keep the support for an older platform alive. I think it's looking at it from a business standpoint as well. Like, they're going to have to probably get a separate team to just keep the support going for these older platforms, which might not make that much sense from that point of view. And that's just me being very objective about it.
Yeah. So Dan, when it comes to the PSP though, I mean, how many games are we still, going to be losing in a sense?
Oh, well, probably none, because it's been hacked to hell, and you can get a torrent of every single PSP game ever. So again, thankfully, piracy stepped in to save the day again. So as for losses, I'm not sure there'll be a great deal. One of the good things about online stores is that people know how to bypass it to a degree. And so, it's pretty much a full dump of all these things out there. So they are preserved to some degree. I mean, why not? I don't know. That'd be a bit boring, but I suppose you could emulate it through a PS, like a PS5 could have like a little PSP emulator. You could play PSP games on your PS5 via PlayStation Now at some point. I don't know. That'd be quite interesting. But
there are some of the PSP games that I remember playing on my PS4, like one of the ones being Patapon. I don't know.
Patapon came across.
Yeah. So that was fun, being able to just play it on my TV as opposed to on a tiny little screen. So I don't even think you might need an emulator for it. Again, it's just remastering it for the new generation consoles.
For real. That'd be awesome. And it was just a little compilation of like the PSP's greatest hits.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be good because like out here, out in the West, like it didn't really do jack. Like in the UK, the PSP didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It appeared as a blip and went away. So it might be nice to have like a little compilation just to what we missed out on because no one really cared for it over here.
Yeah, whereas here in Japan it was huge, especially with the younger kids and all, the Monster Hunter games and everything like we were talking about last week. They were huge on the PSP.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about it because, like, was it essentially just a Monster Hunter machine? Like, how like the Wii was bought just to facilitate playing Wii Sports. Was the PSP just a means of playing Monster Hunter?
In a sense, I think so. Yeah, because Monster Hunter was huge.
It was.
So, okay, so let's move on to story number 2. So, Horizon Zero Dawn. Pugger, have you played Horizon Zero Dawn?
I have not, actually, and it's on my Steam wish list.
Yeah. Well, Sony and Guerrilla Games' PS4 hit Horizon Zero Dawn is now available free of charge to PS4 and PS5 owners. So PlayStation owners on both consoles can redeem a free digital copy of the game until May 14th. So the free copy Sony is offering is the complete edition, meaning you get not only the base game, but some extras, including the Frozen Wilds expansion and a digital art book if you're into that sort of thing. So Dan... what do you think? Did you ever play Frozen Wilds? I think you played Horizon, right? You played.
Yeah, no, I played the. Oh, did I? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm going to go back and look now. No, I did because I remember because I platinumed Horizon because it's super easy, and I think because of that, I pretty much strolled through the DLC for it, and it was super easy. Yeah, it was even easy because I had all that kick-ass armor and stuff from the first round. So yeah. So,
I never got into Frozen Wilds. I did finish the main story on Horizon. So, Pugger, I mean, this is a great game. You should really try it. It's an amazing story as well. I really loved playing it. The environments are really cool. The robotic dinosaur type of bosses that you have to battle, those are really cool. It's a really fun game.
Some really good things about it, and it's probably a good thing that it's now free on the PlayStation Store because I do kind of miss going on my PlayStation every now and then, so it's a pretty good time for me to jump back in on it.
Yeah. So Dan, is this something that would entice you to go and play the game again since it's free now?
I don't know. Well, I've already bought it, so it's free for me now anyway. But one of the good things I like having the play at home thing is like some of these games are now because they're digital. So like Subnautica, I've already got on the physical copy.
Oh, great game!
It's pretty good, right? But like now I can just play it without using a disc. Yeah. So that's great. So I don't have to go and get it out and put it in the machine and load it up. I can just load it from the hard drive, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the things going for Horizon Zero Dawn. Just my laziness is one of the key appealing factors for this game. But I don't know if I would bother because, like I said, I've done it. I've done it all. I've experienced it. Yeah.
Are you typically the type to just finish a game and never touch it again, or do you enjoy just doing a couple more run throughs of it?
It depends. Like things like Horizon wouldn't really appeal to me to play it again because I've like I said I've done it to death. Only a couple of games, like I can play Resi 4 like 10 times in a row without worrying about it because it's just awesome every time. Metroid Prime, stuff like Super Metroid, I can play that forever. But mostly I play it and I'm done with it.
For me, it depends on how long of a game it is. If it's a huge open world, 150, 200 hour game, I'm not going to go back to it again. But
people do, and that amazes me. Like people who've played like Skyrim like 8 times. Yeah. And I've put like people I've put 1,000 hours into Skyrim. You're like, Jesus, well done. How? But well done to you. That's amazing. And he's like a level 7,000 warlock. And
I think the only game that I've ever done that for, in terms of just replaying it over and over again, is really just Diablo 2, and just maxing out all the classes and then going back and doing it again. But I've never been able to replicate the same type of enthusiasm for other games beyond that.
Are you excited for the Diablo 2 remake?
I am. I think a lot of people aren't, just because they keep tying Blizzard's mess up with Warcraft with their future remasters. But I'm feeling pretty positive. I saw some of the reviews that came out from the alpha rounds, and it seems pretty good so far. And it could just be because I spent so much time back in the day on that game that I just can't wait to get back into it again. It looks pretty good, to be fair.
Good. Cool. Yeah, it might be all right.
So one other question I have for you guys about this. So Horizon Zero Dawn becoming free here. I mean, we're going to talk about Game Pass in a little while, but do you think Game Pass had a factor in Sony making this free?
No. I mean, it's done. Who's still buying it now at this day and age? I'm surprised not more companies don't do this. Just have it now. It's done. I mean, Who's other than PC players who are not everyone can afford a PC of the spec needed to run it. So I guess later in the day people might come back to it when they get a PC bigger to run it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but everyone with a base PS4 can run this game, and it's what 4 years old now, 5 years old, something like that.
Yeah, so, it came out in 2017. Yeah, 4. Yeah,
right. So yeah, who's still buying it? So yeah, make loads of games free. Who cares?
Yeah,
it's probably better to have people playing your game than just have it sitting there doing bugger all on a server somewhere. I'd assume. I don't know. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, I think it'll also get the gaming community hyped up about maybe other projects that the publishers are coming up
sequels
as well.
And yeah.
So it's relatively low cost, I suppose, of marketing the things that they can do from a gaming developer standpoint.
And of course, Horizon 2 is coming out at some discernible point in the future, so it'll be a good little way to get everyone preloaded and ready for that, get the hype train going.
Yeah, I think it could be coming later this year, so that's exactly probably what they're thinking about. So
it's a good shout.
Okay, next story up. Are any of you interested, Dan? I don't think you're interested in playing mobile games, right? Yeah.
Nah. Nah, mate, nah.
Pugger, how about you?
The only games I play on my phone are like those basic puzzle or card games. Just stuff that I can do in my spare time, but definitely nothing serious.
Yeah. Well, it looks like so Microsoft basically has started inviting Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers to test its Xbox Cloud Gaming XCloud service on iPhones and iPads now. So this past week, they started working on that. So, yeah. So it's, from what I've heard, it's basically slow running at the moment because it's still in beta form.
Right.
But they're starting to let subscribers test the service. And the service works through web browsers, allowing it to also run on PCs and Macs on Edge, Chrome, or Safari. So the web interface, for example, is very simple to use from what has been said about it. And it scales across devices like iPhone, iPad, and or even large monitors attached to a PC. And it's kind of interesting where they talk about the servers. So basically the server is it's basically a back-end server for Xbox One S consoles, but they are talking about upgrading those to the Series X console for the servers at some point, hopefully this year. So what do you guys think? I don't know. I think Microsoft trying to, break into the mobile market, especially having their, Xbox games running on an iPhone or an iPad, especially here in Japan, because iPhones and iPads are huge out here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this something that a lot of gamers might try out? Dan, what do you think?
Maybe as a novelty, but again, like I've said about this before, who wants to play a friggin' 8K game on a 7-inch freaking tablet, or like a little tiny crappy phone? I mean, as big as the iPhone whatever it is now screen is, it's not a patch on a bloody 44-inch 8K TV. I know if I got this, I'd play for about 3 minutes. I'd go, that's pretty neat, and then instantly never touch it again. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very common thing. I don't know.
And for a lot of people, they're going to have to use a controller, so they're going to have to link a controller with it. So there was one report saying that the Elite Series 2 controller, the Xbox Elite Series 2, is compatible, and you can use that as well. But
most of them, it's Bluetooth controllers, aren't they, anyway? So that makes sense.
Yeah. I just don't think you'd be able to fully really experience the excitement that a game would be able to give you if you're just looking at it on a small screen. I don't know. It's okay for if something to just kill your time, but if you want to spend a few hours on it, I definitely don't know how long I can spend staring at my phone for that long.
And today, we talked about this numerous times about the length of games and their epics, and how many games can you just play for like 8 minutes on a bus ride? Or, well, say that's a bit of a sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly.
You got 20-minute bus ride. How much are you going to actually get done? Yeah. It seems. Oh.
Maybe a game like Banjo-Kazooie or something like that.
You could play it every day or
something.
Yeah. But I mean, could do.
Well, actually, in Malaysia we have these sort of we call them like night cafes. We call them mamats, and usually it's a place that we all go and hang out. It's sort of like a bar or pub without the alcohol, and you just sit there and drink tea. And I have seen, groups of people sat there for hours just on their phones and they're playing Mobile Legends. And it kind of just reminded me of, I guess, a modern day LAN party almost. But at the same time, it's, everyone's just kind of hunched over their tiny little screen. And it's just, you just don't get the same sort of feeling with your headset and the screen and, that whole immersive experience.
Yeah. I think it's a very cool use of tech. And obviously you get to splash out for the unlimited data on your phone plan, which is not cheap enough. So it's cool. Well, as I work at the Center for Computing History, and we had a student come down. I think it's associated with one of the colleges here, and he was like beta testing it for Microsoft or something. He was chosen at random. And he came on and showed us freaking Halo stuff running on a mobile phone, and it did look pretty cool. But again, meh.
Cool.
The tech.
It'll be interesting to see if here in Japan it will help to get more subscribers to a Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah,
we'll see how that works out. But yeah, it's in beta form, and it's going to be probably a couple of years in testing to see how well it runs. So, okay, next story up is Sony looks to announce PlayStation Plus Video Pass. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but Sony actually they've confirmed it. PlayStation Plus Video Pass, I should say. Excuse me. It's going to be it's a trial service at the moment, running in Poland for a year. And will offer 21 movies and TV shows at no extra cost to PS Plus subscribers. So hopefully after the trial service, it will go international. Sony's Nick McGuire explains that the pass comes in the form of a PS4, PS5 app, which initially allows PS Plus subscribers to watch 21 movies and TV, including Venom, Baby Driver, and all 6 seasons of Community. So McGuire says new titles will be added to that list every 3 months, and no change to PS Plus's price in Poland will be made. So hopefully that will stick when it comes to worldwide service. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do gamers care about having movies on their gaming subscriptions? I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's a nice
Pugger?
value add, I suppose. I think if you look at all the streaming services that we have, like Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, everyone has their own original productions on there. I think that's the main thing that keeps people wanting to subscribe to them. But if it's just like a nice to have, then I guess no complaints really. But I think most of the people on there would be mainly there for the games as opposed to the TV shows, unless they decide to suddenly come out with their own original productions, and that's a whole separate thing of its own. But then you would then get people who just want the TV shows and the movies, but not the games. So I would see it's like a nice add-on as opposed to really something to attract us to. I'm not sure.
I think when the Xbox One came out, like in 2013, they were really pushing like the kind of like the in the living room type of media, like where you watch TV shows, blah blah blah, and stuff. But that really didn't pan out. But then again, they didn't have the subscription service type of race that's going on now with like Netflix and Disney Plus and everywhere else, and all these other services. But I mean, I don't know. Just as a gamer, I probably wouldn't care about it so much because I already have a subscription to like Netflix or something like that. I don't know. Dan, what about you? What do you think of this?
I don't really know. I don't see the point in it really. It's not going to make me suddenly, subscribe. Meh. Sure, because
there's a speculation right now about some kind of counter to Xbox Game Pass, and maybe this is something that's going to be incorporated into whatever they're going to offer in the future. Have videos, because later this year, I think it is, the PlayStation Store is going to discontinue on the digital store sales of like movies and things like that. So I think this could be something that's going to go into a future subscription service. It could be similar to Game Pass. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, they've got to do something. I'm not sure this is the right way to go. Like you guys said, who really cares about what to watch? It's not an imperative, and you buy a machine to play games. You buy a subscription to play games. You don't buy the subscription to watch stuff. So yeah. Weird. It's a weird choice.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the topic of the show. So, obviously, Game Pass is a big thing out there now. It's gotten a lot of some big games recently. MLB 21, the show, is now on Game Pass. Outriders on day one came to Game Pass. So, Sony is gotta figure out how to counter Game Pass in some way, but it looks like Sony has possibly made a deal with Capcom that's going to keep Resident Evil Village from being on Xbox Game Pass. So basically, it's going to have like a exclusivity deal with Capcom that would keep Resident Evil Village at least off of Game Pass for a year, kind of like a timed exclusivity type of deal. So, I mean, what do you guys think of this? I mean, Resident Evil's been pretty big with Sony over the years. And of course, with the demos that we talked about last week, Dan, a lot of those demos are, exclusive to PlayStation, the Village demos and the Castle demo. What do you think of this move? I mean, Sony trying to, make specific deals with other third-party developers to have exclusivity in a form to keep these games away from Game Pass. What do you think?
It'll be cheaper than getting an outright exclusivity. So go for it. Makes sense. Blah.
Yeah. Pugger, what do you think of this?
I'm in two minds about it. I mean, for me, I'm not an Xbox user, so I don't feel the burn from it as much. And I've always believed that the PlayStation does get better exclusives. I don't know how many people I'm going to piss off by saying that, but I genuinely think that PlayStation exclusives are way better from what I've seen. I mean, it sucks. It's definitely not something that's not been done before. Even with, if you look at like Spotify versus Tidal, there were a lot of albums that were being limited to just Tidal, and Spotify users wouldn't be getting it for a few years at least. So it's not uncommon. And I'm not so familiar with the whole Xbox Game Pass thing, but just because it's not on there, it doesn't mean that they don't get to play it ever, right? It's just you can play it on you. Yeah, you can play it somewhere, just not on there.
Yeah, well, Game Pass Ultimate is basically Xbox console and PC, and you get the streaming rights to the XCloud service that they're promoting. So,
but you could, if you're on a PC, then you could still get it via Steam, right? Like you don't have to get it through the Xbox Game Pass, so you're not completely cut off from it. So if you really wanted it, just buy it on a different platform.
Yeah, that's the point.
I can see why that's not. I can see why some people might kick up a fuss about it, but definitely not enough to, have like a massive PR shitstorm over for sure. Because I think there's more than enough players on the PC and PlayStation to make up for it. That's my opinion, anyways.
I think this is going to become more like an East versus West type of thing, because you have Capcom here in Japan, and you have a lot of other, studios out here in Japan that PlayStation has great relationships with, and they're probably going to try to make these exclusivity deals to keep these games off of Game Pass until they can come up with their own service that's equivalent to Game Pass. And then on the other side, on the flip side, you're going to have the West, and where Game Pass and Microsoft are going to be making deals like they did with the Bethesda deal, trying to get these Western studios either on board or to, like they did with Tomb Raider a few years back when the last, Rise of the Tomb Raider came out for a whole year in exclusivity to Xbox.
Yeah, good choice on that one, guys.
Yeah,
you really showed us PlayStation users.
Yeah,
got it by that crap, but yeah.
So yeah.
It's also it's worth pointing out that there's no evidence that this ever took place. Like there's no evidence that money has changed hands. There's no evidence that there was a deal made for this. This is absolutely speculation. It could have been Capcom went
leaked. I'm sorry, Dan, let me just say they said leaked documents, but we don't know that for sure. We don't know. It is speculation, but it's.
Yeah, so there's every chance that Capcom went, no, we're going to make way more money off this game than you can offer us for having it on Game Pass. Yeah. And so it's every chance that Capcom went, nah, piss off in the first place. So, yeah.
That is a possibility, but yeah, we shall see. But
well, probably won't, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least, I mean, right now, basically, even like Ghostwire Tokyo, Deathloop, they're going to be timed exclusives for a year. So, but, I mean, the actual game itself will be available on Xbox, but getting it on Game Pass, I mean, that's what the story and the speculation is, that Sony is, either making or trying to make a deal that will prevent Game Pass from getting it for at least a year. So yeah, I don't know.
But that's what the speculation is. It's not what the story
exactly.
is. Yeah.
Well, the stories that have been put up on the net, that's it's speculation. That's definitely. Yeah. Okay, so it is time for Dan's retro topic of the week. Dan, what do you have for this week in the world of retro gaming?
Well, mine is a TBC. It's mine is coming soon. What I want to do is something about Densha to Go, because there's very little about it in the UK, about out here in the West. There's not that much information about it, so I'm going to do a special, focus on Densha to Go. But I'm still writing as we speak, so you have to wait a little bit longer for that. Okay. So that's a sneak preview for next week's awesome Densha to Go special.
Japan
cool. Focus. Yeah.
Awesome. One thing I want to point out, and you probably heard about this, there was a story out about, and Pugger, I don't know if you've heard of this store in Japan called Super Potato.
No, I've not.
Yeah, Super Potato is a retro gaming store. Dan knows it very well. Dan and I used to go there several times when we make ventures out to Akihabara. And it's a retro gaming store that you can find almost anything and everything in the world of retro gaming. Japanese Famicom games, Super Famicom. Famicom is the Nintendo Entertainment System in the West, and the SNES and Sega games, like the Master System, this Genesis, the Atari. I mean, almost like the Atari Jaguar. The last time I was there at Super Potato, it was shrink wrapped and in pristine new condition. So yeah, I mean, basically the story was that Super Potato is opening up an eBay shop now, an eBay store, so you can actually buy the games from Super Potato on eBay, but the catch is that a lot of these games are going to be super expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. That'll be our topic then. So, yeah, that's actually very true. That'd be interesting if they do it because, so is it actually going to be an actual eBay shop or is it going to be a Yahoo Japan auction shop?
It's an actual eBay shop from what the story says. So.
Oh, and they're going to ship to out here because one thing I've noticed, of course, living in Japan and going there, on holiday and stuff since then, like retro stuff is friggin' cheap in Japan. But sadly, they've realized now and they've started selling stuff over here at 10 times the cost it would be over there. Like, there are games that I've bought from like a secondhand shop for like £3, and like, now they're like 50 over here because screw stupid Westerners. And of course, why not? I mean, it's weird how retro gaming isn't a thing in Japan. Like, no one gives a hot shit over there about old games and stuff. I mean, Super Potato caters pretty much for the foreigners, really.
Yeah, it's a haven.
Niche hobbyists. Yeah,
exactly.
Then even Super Potato is so overpriced. It's not that good. They have a good selection, but their prices are from the friggin' moon. You could do way better just by going to Book Off or Hard Off.
Yeah.
But
is there no Super Potato equivalent in the US or UK, so you wouldn't have to pay that ridiculous prices that they're charging?
Alas, no. Unless you go there, there's no way to get decently priced retro Japanese stuff. People do. So people make good money in the UK. They just go and buy a load of or have their friends send a load of shit over, and then just make up these prices. If you look on British eBay, like a Famicom, it's like, oh yeah, that's like 200 quid, and you're like, that's £20 in Japan. I know. I could get one like for 20 quid. I don't know. But that's the point. You can't go and get it. You're trapped here. You've got to pay their prices. And importers in the UK take the absolute piss. So they'll sell like the biggest pieces of shit for crazy money. But that's the same everything now. Anything retro in the UK. So like I've talked about this before. Like retro collecting in quote marks is like a massive thing in the UK right now. Everyone and his dog is now a friggin' retro collector, and now the prices are from the moon. And unfortunately, that's now transferred. If it's non-UK, if it's American or Japanese stuff, the prices are you can't even get your head around where they're getting these friggin' numbers from. So yeah, but their eBay store, I'm telling you, it'll be unusable by most people. It'll be nuts because Super Potato is already very very overpriced as it is. But fair play. When's that happening? Let's look into this.
Apparently now.
Yeah.
Apparently now. So
have a look.
Yeah. There's a few games on there were like over $120 US dollars.
Yeah.
So
let's have a look. Let's live look at their shop and see what you're pissed. Are you mental? Are you mental? Are you this fucking nuts? Right, when we go and we see games like 108 yen that they can't get rid of.
Yeah.
They're all on the front page and they're all like $50. Yep, $60. You are fucking high.
You're giving me an inspiration on what side hustle to start now.
Do it.
Because I don't think people really pay attention to retro games in Malaysia, but I'm pretty sure there'll be someone there who's selling it somewhere.
Seriously. Hook them all up now and just open the eBay store and add 10 to the price. There is some absolute dog shit on here, and they want like 50 quid, 60 quid, 70 quid.
That's what I'm saying at the beginning of this, man. It's like way too expensive. Yeah.
Apparently, so then my collection of games is now worth 55,000 million pounds because, like, they've got Super Mario All-Stars, right? Which they made like 50 million copies of. It's not a rare game. You can pick it up for fucking pennies. They want $28 for it. That's meant. Oh, these guys are. This is disgusting. Oh, fuck Super Potato Hard.
Dan is a millionaire.
Apparently, I am. According to these guys, and they're insane. I'm like, right. Shadows of the Empire on the N64. I picked up for 108 yen. 108 yen. That's like 65p in England. They want $18 for it. These guys are taking the absolute smeg.
Yeah.
Famicom games. Oh, this is. I can't look at this. I'm getting legitimately angry. Oh, fuck Super Potato Hard. Anyway, what a bunch of scammers.
Yeah. I guess during Corona times, Corona's hit them hard, I guess, yeah.
No, it's because they know. It's sad. They've got wise to it. They know that in the West, we're going to pay 10, 20, 30 times what people in Japan will pay for it.
Yeah.
It's a classic supply and demand thing. I mean, if nobody wants it, the prices wouldn't be that high.
Yeah, it's absolutely. When I went there in like 2018, you know, I filled a suitcase with retro stuff. Filled a suitcase. It was like I went to a bunch of used shops, like 50 quid. I came in with literally a suitcase packed with retro stuff for the price of one of their games on their eBay store.
Yeah,
that is bonkers. Yep. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, with that, let's go ahead and move on to our new and upcoming video game releases via Metacritic for the week of April 26th through May the 2nd. There are 6 games on the list. And the first game comes out on April 28th for PS5. It's already out on other PS4 and other consoles. So Genshin Impact. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys...
it's only just coming out for the PS5.
Yeah, it's coming out on April 28th for the PS5.
Oh.
Yes. So, yeah, Genshin Impact is, pretty popular with live streamers, basically. Yeah. So, welcome to the beautiful fantasy world of Teyvat. Yeah, Teyvat, I think that's how it's pronounced. Step into a huge open world of adventure and mystery where heroic quests await. As a traveler from another world, you must find your lost sibling and unravel Teyvat's many secrets. So, yes. Yeah, this is a game from China, actually, and it came out earlier this year, I think in February or whatever, for the PS4 and the Xbox One. But now it's coming to PS5. So be interesting to see if a lot of streamers will start streaming it on PS5.
Mm.
Yeah. Next up on the list, PC only. It's called Insurmountable. So it comes out on April 29th, and it's to be determined the date for the console release. So confront various terrains as a lonely mountaineer and endure the countless dangers of climbing. Many tough decisions await you in a risky environment. Make your way up and down the mountain, overcoming insurmountable heights. So adventure 3D third person. So
climbing sim.
A climbing sim, basically, it looks like. So it's
Sounds
called
right.
Insurmountable. So
the screenshots give me anxiety.
Uh,
Overlooking high places, high chance of falling to your death.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, it looks interesting. It looks like it's kind of a procedurally generated thing. It's got weird landscapes like made out of like hexagons and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Next up on the list, Total War Rome Remastered, coming on April 29th to PC, exclusive to PC. Yeah, so Total War Rome. Have you ever played that, Pugger? Or
no, I've not actually.
No, I'm not into a strategy thing very much, but it was massive at the time, obviously. It's okay. Makes sense for a remake, I suppose.
So Total War Rome Remastered lets you relive the legacy that defined the award-winning strategy game series. Remastered to 4K with multiple improvements to visuals as well as refinements to gameplay. It's time to revisit a true classic. Not everyone gets a second chance to conquer the Roman Empire. So yeah.
No, very good.
29th.
There was a TV show well, I think it was in England. I think it was in other places as well. But they like recreated historical battles, and they made like a documentary about it. And they used like that game to show how it would have been and what it would look like and stuff, and to model the strategies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like in like the sports simulations, like the Super Bowl. Like the teams that are going to be playing in the Super Bowl, let them play the game on the simulator to see if that kind of goes the way the game goes. So next up on the list, new Pokemon Snap coming on April 30th to the Nintendo Switch, exclusive to the Switch. Yeah. So Dan, you were, I think a few months ago, you were streaming one of the older retro type of Pokemon Snap games, wasn't it? Were you? The pictures, yeah.
No, yeah, it was on our news beat. We did. I played it for a bit, and it's exactly the same as that from the N64 days. Yeah, just going along on a little roller coaster and take pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah.
So is it a full price release? I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah. So photograph Pokemon in their natural habitats as you adventure through unknown islands. Seek out and take in-game pictures of Pokemon in their native environments in the new Pokemon Snap game, only for the Nintendo Switch system.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Pokemon Snap.
That sounds cute.
Yeah. It comes out on the 30th. Yeah.
£45 for a bloody interactive... £45 for Pokemon Snap! It's a game where you just you move around and press Z.
Yeah.
That's mental! £45 for a demo. Bloody hell. All right. Good. Well, fair play.
Yeah. Next up on the list, R-Type Final 2 comes out on April 30th for PC, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. So
cool.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game before, but
yeah.
The legendary shoot 'em up hit is back with an unparalleled R-Type experience. As the latest installment of a series renowned for its colorful visuals and frenetic shooter action, R-Type Final 2 steps it up in the explosive debut on current platforms with 3D graphics and modernized gameplay. So, yeah.
It's very pretty. It might look too good.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, but it looks awesome.
Yeah. Okay, and here we go. The first major PS5 release coming on April 30th, Returnal.
Whee!
Yes, from the makers of Resogun, from the makers of Dead Nation, Alien Nation, Housemarque.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Returnal transforms roguelike gameplay into a third-person shooter where players fight to survive a hostile planet that changes with every death. Players can switch instinctively between firing modes by using a single adaptive trigger and can get right back into the action after dying. So yeah,
I'm really looking forward to watching gameplay for this one. It looks pretty cool.
It does look interesting. Yeah,
I really, really want to play this game, but I don't want to pay like $70 up front. It's going to be $70. I want to wait until it comes down in price. So I'll probably give it a couple of months before I get it, at least.
You'll be lucky.
Yeah, $70. I don't know. This game should have been maybe, I don't know, 40 at the most. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but yeah, it's a new PS5 game. It's exclusive to PS5, I think, because of the adaptive trigger, gameplay, as well as the 3D audio that's being pushed. 3D audio is really being pushed for this game. So, yeah. Comes out on the 30th.
How quickly the prices will drop actually for the PS5 games, because I think for PC games and for the previous generation consoles, you kind of have an idea of how soon after it's released that it'll drop. I wonder if it's going to follow the same pattern for the PS5.
That's a good question. I don't know. It depends on sales. But then again, people might get lucky because not so many people have the console yet. So, it might not sell as well. But if the current trend from the PS4 era sticks, it'll probably be a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
like maybe a summer sale, you might see something, some price drop. But I don't know, Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you might be lucky. I don't know. I maybe think more towards Black Friday kind of thing, maybe later on in the year. Because they don't need to, really, because, if you've got a digital PS5, you're a captive market, you have no choice. So they don't really have to drop the price. And, of course, there's bugger all else on there. So that's another reason not to bother, because you can just charge what you want, and people are going to have to pay to play. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're starting to get towards the season now where more games are going to start coming out for the PS5.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. But yeah, famously, the digital games always go on sale way after the physical releases do. So, yeah, it might be a bit of a wait.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So, what's your pick of the week? We have Genshin Impact on PS5, Insurmountable for PC, Total War Rome Remastered for PC, Pokemon Snap on Nintendo Switch, R-Type Final 2 for PC, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. And Returnal for PS5 exclusively for the PS5. What's your pick of the week? Pugger, we'll start with you. What's your pick?
Returnal looks good to me. I did see a few bits of gameplay for it. I mean, the trailer for it, and it just got really exciting. I do have to add that I just saw something this morning that got me really excited. Is that the Alien Isolation is now free on the Epic Game Store.
Oh,
awesome. And it's honestly like one of the best games I've ever played. So I'm really excited for people who've never played it before.
That was an awesome game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I first got it, Dan was still in Japan. He watched me play the first 20-30 minutes of it. It was pretty cool. The little save, what is it? The cassette tape icons. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I just love how after I read about the AI that they built in for it, and just how they layered the Aliens AI with everything else, is just total nerd fest. I loved it so much. So clever.
Yeah.
I remember two reasons. One, I played it on hard mode, and there was no reason to, because you got no trophy for doing it on hard mode, which really pissed me off. And
you get bragging rights.
Oh well, and there's another one. If you had the PlayStation camera, it head tracked you. So when you hid in a locker, when you hid in a locker, if you moved your body, you could peek around the slots in the locker door to get a better view of where the alien was.
Oh my god! And
it listened to you. So if you shouted while playing the game, the alien would hear you and attack you. It was really clever, actually. And no game's done that since, which is a massive oversight. It was A, simple to do, and B, really awesome.
You could get a mod for it for the PC version.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. It's good.
All right. So, yeah, and I just put a video up on my YouTube channel, Expat 2020 Gaming, for Returnal. It's kind of a brief synopsis of the game, so go check that out. Yeah. Okay, so before we conclude the episode, I want to let everyone know where you can find me on social media. You can find my website for gaming content at expat2020.live, and all my other social media links to Twitter, Instagram, my Discord server, the podcast website, as well as my YouTube channels at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/expat2020. And I'm a live streamer and a Twitch affiliate, and you can check me out on twitch.tv/expat2020, my previous streams, as well as previous Gaming News Week in Review live streams. So that does it for me. Pugger, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitch. So that's mother with 2 R's and pugger as in the dog, Pugger. So MOTHERRPUGGER.
All right.
Yeah.
So Pugger, thank you so much for coming on, and we really appreciate it. And we're hoping that you come back on soon.
Well, thank you for having me. I had loads of fun. This was good.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And Dan, what about you? Where can people find you, and what are you going to be doing this coming week?
You can't find me. I don't want to be found. Leave me alone.
I hate people.
That's what I want to say. Leave me alone.
Now that we know that he's a millionaire.
Yeah, seriously, I'm going to sell my stuff and live in absolute luxury till I die. You can find me on Twitch. I stream on Tuesdays, and if you like trains, you can see me. Press start to game. It's all one word. PRESS triple S TATGME. Press start to game, all in one long block. Trains and retro stuff. Be great.
Trains and then planes and then automobiles, right?
Maybe. I'm not into planes.
Vehicles.
Yeah. Although I've got to say, so Farming Sim 22 has been announced. So at the end of the year, you can multiplayer Farming Sim ad nauseum. So look forward to that, fans.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So next up is our indie recording artist spotlight for the week. So this week's spotlight is on The Ghosts of Liberty, an Americana act based out of Greensboro, North Carolina, comprises husband and wife duo Emma and Tyler Millard, who bring together their combined influences of roots, blues, rock, and soul from the title song of their album called Daddy's Daughter. This has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 35. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Dan, and our special guest, Twitch streamer motherrpugger. We hope to see you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.
Bye.
Till he taught her how to shoot. Daddy didn't play no games, wouldn't let her trade her name for a fake I do. Boy, you better know what you're getting into. This ain't no shotgun wedding that you're used to. The target is you. If you leave her standing all alone at the altar, Daddy's daughter got a smell. In a dirty white dress